Hey guys. Alright. Well, I sitting down, I was thinking, huh, I've done all these videos for YouTube, and I really haven't done a personal one. So here it is. Okay, here's my life in a nutshell. If you don't care, then switch videos. Alright. My life in a nutshell. Pretty much, I was born in Washington. Was there for the first 2 years of my life. Then I moved to England. That's where I got myself a fine accent, if I do say so myself. Kim seems to like it. Um, I lived there for 4 years. Still haven't lost the accent. Um, Went from England to Hawaii. Pretty big shift. My dad's in the Air Force, U.S. Air Force. Um, and then we moved we lived in Hawaii for 4 years. That was pretty interesting. Pretty happy days of my life. Uh, Here and there, spouts of, whatever else. I never really was a popular kid. Um, then I moved to Alaska for 4 years after that. Um, and that was pretty good for the first 2 years. I was in homeschool because, like, right after, um, right after, being in Hawaii and, like, going from England with some of the best schools, awesome schooling. Um, if I had a kid and I had a choice, I'd almost move to England just to put him in the schools because the school system is good. Um, but going from some of the best schools to going to one of the worst schools in the country, in Hawaii, I mean, literally, like, teachers and kids will take the day off just because the waves are good. I'm not joking, you know. Um, Not to mention the school system's underfunded and the teachers really didn't give a crap about anything, about any students. So my mother just took me out after first year. Um, so then I was in homeschool till seventh grade. Seventh grade, and like I said, I've never really been a popular kid and really fit in. Um, but I'm gonna have to backtrack in a sec. But then I went through a really kind of depressive phase because it was a lot of things that were bugging me. I'll get into those details, along with not being popular and literally, I mean, I got picked on physically and verbally picked on. Uh, so bad that, like literally I felt like I was in a shell. I didn't feel anything. Like it felt like all my senses had been dulled. You know, um, Almost suicidal. I wouldn't say necessarily suicidal, but you know. So anyway, sad story, blah blah. Okay, I get over it. Um, Backtracking a little bit. I'm sorry, I had to put you through all the sad story. Backtracking a little bit was I went, I lived in when I moved to Alaska. The first bit was actually really really good. But I started experiencing things, not very good things. What one might call like shadow people, shadow demons, whatever else you want to call it. But as a 10-year-old, they kind of sensed me and they went, we can step off this energy and scare the piss out of them. Well, and I'll get into my past lives in a sec, but with my past lives, I started remembering things when they started messing with me. And then from there, I pretty much was on a fast track of knowing how to work with the arts, with working with magic and stuff. Um, I didn't really have a choice, which kind of sucks, because I mean, I feel lucky for those people that, like, they're 18, even though they haven't had as much time, as much experience. But when they like, people that are 18 and 20s that decide to get into it because they actually have a choice, realistically, you know. But so I started doing things I didn't even know what I was doing. Literally started saying words in different languages, and things would happen. I mean, like everything from literally taking a frozen gate that was frozen like 2 inches off the ground, and like, cause it snow heaved. I don't know if you ever experienced that, but like frost heaved, my bad. Frost heaved, so like the entire gate was lifted up, and I had to put the latch in because my stupid sister. I remember it down in this day. I was bitching and cussing mad. This wasn't when I was 10, but um, like she unlatched it, let out the dog. You're not supposed to do that because Frosty and Dad already told her. Well, literally somehow like I mean, literally, it felt like the lock had melted a little bit, and then like the gate had lowered just enough to where I could throw the latch in. And just I said some words, and just heat went through my head, and then it worked. I don't even know. It just worked. Um, so that's kind of where it started. Um, things went from there. I started experiencing a lot more demonic things. However, good thing about it is I started really getting into and actually connecting with the forest that was around my house, and it was very, very beautiful. Um, like I could connect with, and I knew every single tree. It was like they knew me, and it's really sad when I moved because I really didn't want to move. I really had a connection with that place, you know. And I want to go back. One of these days, I'm gonna go back to where I used to walk around the woods and go back there and kind of say hello, hi guys. But I mean, I felt like I knew everything that was going on around there. You know. Um, then I decided that I was gonna. Then things kept on bugging me, but I slowly started dealing with them. Um, until I hit middle school. It was pretty well balanced. Things worked out, equilibrium. Then I hit middle school and I had a lot of problems. Like I could I could feel a lot of the empathy. Um, Kim says I can act pretty girly at times. I guess cause I guess I can feel like kind of how people are feeling. If they're hurting inside and I'm kind of hurt inside. It's like extreme emotion I can feel, but I've learned to tone that down. But I mean, when you're going through middle school, like most people, I don't know if it's just up here, but like most people in general, it's not a happy time for them. So I mean, I had to learn to cope with that. I had to learn to cope with my own feelings of getting and my own thing of just getting bullied, and for me, it felt like I was just putting up a show. And my life felt like shit. Part of my language. Um, I just felt like I couldn't do anything right. And I have family issues too, but I don't want to get into that. So and that just came all to a head all at one point, and it nearly drove me mad and suicidal. Um, then, but things slowly got better during that summer, eighth grade. I really grew up. Literally, I mean, I uh, went down to North Carolina, and a girl thought I was an adult because of the way I talked. You know, um, I could hold a conversation like I do now at 18 as I did when I was 14, 15. Um, I mean, I did talk to people. Matter of fact, one person, and I wish I could get in contact with her because she really helped me out. She really helped me give ahead where I was going because like, I experienced a lot of things, some of which were like runes. I didn't know what they did, I didn't know why they worked, how they worked. I started developing like little ideas like, oh, well, this one's obviously the master rune, the pinnacle. I came up with a pinnacle without even knowing what the hell it was. Now, granted, okay, you got the imagery on TV, but still, I was pulling out Norse runes, and I still use a dotted system, which is slightly different Norse rune system. I'll get into that in our video. Don't let me forget. if you guys let me forget, I'm not gonna be able to do a good rune video aside from the staff thing, but that's one of my specialties. Um, but she was a rune caster, and she utilized it in a very similar way that I ended up using it. She used it, of course, as an energy center, as kind of like an energy focuser. Um, and she really helped me just learn a good balance of it. Her name was Lauren, and if Ben Pro, if you somehow watch this video, I would much like to get in contact and at least thank you uh, for helping me out because I that really did help me out the conversations. But yeah, she helped me out a lot. I got a head on my shoulders kind of, and continue on from there. See, then I moved to North Carolina, and that was an interesting experience to say the least. After living in Alaska and Hawaii and all that. North Carolina, it's a completely different experience altogether. Not exactly the best one. I lived on a military base after that for a while. Um, and when I lived down there, the people were so racist and religiously prejudiced and everything else. I mean, literally, I started discovering that, like I was pagan towards the end of it, like towards when we were leaving. I went, oh shit. Pardon the language. Like if they knew what I believed in, that I wasn't Christian, I could get a bullet to my head. Literally, it was pretty bad. And I went from like okay school to like an inner city school where literally there were kids that didn't show up to school next day because they got shot because they messed with another kid at school. That was it was messed up. Um, Learn to be tough, That's the way it goes. Um, then let's see. I met some people. Um, and really, I haven't had much time to do reading, and I just learned things. I pick things up really, really quick. I talk to people all the time. Um, I discovered that there were kids that knew a lot of stuff, but even to them, they called me a mental library, because I can pull out things from my head and just go, like this is how this is supposed to work, this good a concept, good idea. I like where you're going with this, but this could work better here, be careful you're working with these energies, I can do things, I can explain things, dealing with demons and things. I dealt with that. We dealt with that in North Carolina. Um, but yeah, I really started discovering exactly who I was and kind of how powerful, in a way, powerful where I was, and like I was really surprised, because I went from, yeah, I can see the forest spirits to, holy crap, you actually saw that, Um, that was a very, very good experience for me, in a way. We did some crazy stuff, though. This is gonna be a part two, I think. We did some crazy stuff because, uh, we went to, like, this one old hot house. Apparently, it had been a couple different things. It was a slave house at one point in time. Okay, and that, for those of you that don't know, slave houses, they see a lot of things, everything from like murdering of slaves, and that sort of stuff. Um, to being like a school, to like a senior home, to being schools, like uh, living space for the teachers and stuff. It was a very interesting old house, and it was abandoned. Yes, I know it was illegal, but we went in the back door. I mean, hell, the thing was hanging off its hinges. It was a really, really old house, and this one's gonna take a while to explain, but I went in there, and there was everything from there was so much stuff that was just on the counter, you know. Okay, gotta wrap it up. It's gonna be a part two. Have fun, kitties.